I've made a lot of videos on this channel where I've been positive to Ethereum. I've talked for a long time how Ethereum has been ranging between 0.055 and 0.08 resistance area. Now it's happening, guys. There is only one problem. Stay with me on this video and I'll share what it is. You've seen me many times on this channel talking about Ethereum, and before that on the old channel before YouTube froze that one. If you were there, you remember this gold flip in May 2020, shortly after my birthday. And then this retest entry at 175. This was just last year, it feels like an eternity ago, doesn't it? Then this double bottom confirmed when we broke neckline at 360. It got a little chilly. We struggled a bit with these 360 and 400 levels, but in the end, Lars Online never turned ice blue, and instead we landed another double bottom and off we went. Then we had this channel breakup, we had this ascending triangle breakup, we had this symmetrical triangle breakup, and Lars Online held a warm and sunny gold, letting you hold this position all the way from 175 all the way up until the parabola broke. It was hard to time this exact top, but you could definitely secure an exit around here, 3200, if you followed the process. Then we touched down many times on this support. If you took just a little bit of chance and bought in on the fourth touch on this support, you actually got in at 1700, which was almost half the price where you secured your capital on. And if you didn't, then you got this clean double bottom, which confirmed with a neckline breakout at 2300, letting you get back in there. And if you missed that one too, no one could miss the Lars Online gold flip, from an icy blue to warm gold here at 3000, which was still lower than where you got out, and you protected your capital, in case this hadn't turned around so beautifully sunny like it did. Then from that and to this date, Lars Online has been a radiant, sunlit gold the entire time. We got this quite scary dip below the red support here, but Lars Online held gold and we quickly recovered. And then here, last week, you got this perfect retest of this support line. Not once, but 1, 2, 3 times with the trend up. That is a dream really. Trend is up, dip to support, and support proves to hold. Before we continue, guys, please watch out for the impersonators. The only place you can get my course with the Lars Online indicator and process is on www.ctolarsson.com. Everything else is a scam. There's a lot of them now, don't fall for it. Only place. Alright, so this is great and all, but who wants the US dollar anyway? That old fiat assets which they keep printing more of. Beating the USD is easy. We should do better than that, I think. And jokes aside, I find it extremely beneficial to separate these two questions. Number one, how is the market doing in general, the crypto market? Best proxied by the Bitcoin versus the US dollar. And number two, how is a certain coin doing compared to the market in general? And here proxied by Ethereum versus BTC. Actually, I don't use this chart that much. Instead, for quite a long time, I have reasoned like this. If I move in and out of the market to fiat, that decision I take looking at this chart, BTC versus USD. And for the money that is in market, the decision on how to divide that between Bitcoin and Ethereum, that decision I have taken by looking at this chart, ETH versus BTC. And interestingly, while the coin versus USD charts are best analyzed on the daily timeframes, in my opinion, the relative strength of the two biggest coins, Bitcoin versus Ethereum, has not best been analyzed on the daily. Because on the daily we get too much noise, too many flippity flops on the trend to see the forest for the trees. If we then bring up the weekly chart, just to remind what I mentioned a couple of videos back, here we had 3 distinct phases. First, ETH will flip BTC. Then, no, it's dead, killed by ICOs. And now the third phase driven by actual usage with DeFi, automated market makers, lending, NFTs, stablecoins and so on. And note especially this line at 0.025, which came into play many times during Ethereum's history. Was support here in 2017, in 2018, 2019, then turned into resistance 2020, but then broke through and again gave support in late December 2020, supporting this run-up that we've now gotten. Then we got into this quite tight range between 0.055 and 0.08. If you've been here, you know I've talked about this range for a long time now. Bounce at 0.08, bounced at 0.55, 0.08 again, 0.055 again, 0.08 again. Then it started bouncing a little higher, making this look a little more like a symmetrical triangle waiting for breakout. And yesterday, and today, it happened. Probably. Because when we are looking at this now, we have to remember one thing. This last candle that we're looking at now isn't the same as the other candles. These ones are closed. This one hasn't closed. It will only close on Sunday evening. Longer time frames are more reliable than shorter time frames, but if we switch to daily, which again is not my main time frame on the ETH to BTC chart, because we get too much noise, too many flippity flops, but still. If we look here, this candle yesterday has closed. And it has closed above this area here. And if this was a symmetrical triangle, the breakout is confirmed. Then if today's candle, or tomorrow's, or the next few days, closes above this whole area that I've drawn here up to this point, I take that as another solid reconfirmation. Now the next thing is not financial advice for you. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just sharing what I do. And I already from before had more than half of my crypto exposure on Ethereum, more than Bitcoin, so I'm of course very happy to see this. But I am now tempted to move even more over from Bitcoin to Ethereum. Because now one of two things could happen. Either this is a fake of some kind, and we dropped back down into the range and into the triangle. Then I move it back from Ethereum back to Bitcoin. No sweat. Or, if we zoom back out, this line here at about 0.16 is where Ethereum would flip Bitcoin and become the #1 crypto. Can that happen? I don't know. If I didn't have this chart showing me what the market actually does, I would not have guessed on this breakout here now. I feel that the Bitcoin narrative is strong here, it's doing well. While Ethereum, truly, I have the C2.ETH ENS name. That should show how much I like Ethereum. But at this point, it's horrible to use. Layer 2s are coming now, but other than that, I don't like how the fees are locking out most people of the world from using it. I don't like it. While Bitcoin's narrative of a better gold, when the whole world has gone crazy with inflation and money printing, is really doing quite well. So I would not have guessed this at this point of time, but this just shows the power of charts, the power of technical analysis, the power of a trend tracking indicator, because it shows what the market is actually doing, not what it says. So if you can't see the value of a process and a system like this now, when I've shared it with you in real time, like this for many years now, so you could see that it's not an after construction, I don't know what will. But if you weren't here, and you for some reason haven't had Ethereum exposure during this run, because you fell for the maximalist narrative that was strong there at the bottom, now is a good risk-reward to rebalance a bit. Because what will you do if this actually happens, and Ethereum actually goes for this 0.16 level? It's less than 2x from here. That's nothing in crypto. I'm saying it's a good risk reward because if it doesn't happen, if it reverses, falls back into the range, it's not such a big drop, so you don't risk that much if you need to cut it later. That's what trading and risk reward looks like. You take a risk, you even assume that you will be wrong, and you actually cut it if the entry turns on you. And if it, many times to your own surprise, actually works out, you ride it all the way. Like we did with Ethereum here from 175, reposition, got in lower, and again all the way up to today's levels of almost $5,000, $4,681. Wow. It's a sunny golden day on Lars Online for Ethereum in every sense today. Not a chilly blue breeze in sight. The problem is that it's cold. It is freezing out here in Sweden. What can we do about that? Subscribe and find out. Thank you, tack. Please subscribe. See you in this video next.